Hello everyone, my name is Renuka and today I'll be walking you through my strategic analysis of Tata Motors. We'll look at where the company stands in global auto industry, what challenges it faces and how it can position itself for a long-term success. Uh, so the executive summary Okay, so the executive summary is Tata, the auto industry is changing really fast. We are seeing a big shift towards electric vehicle, stricter environmental rule, and lot of new digital technologies in car. Tata Motors started out as an Indian company, but now they operates in 125 countries. Plus, they own Jaguar Land Rover. And in this presentation, I'll use tools like SWOT, Brio, and a balanced scorecard to show how Tata can keep up growing while staying competitive. Now, the mission and vision of Tata Group is always Tata Motor follows the same value as the larger Tata Group, things like honesty, responsibility, and innovation. Their mission is clear to provide affordable, sustainable transport, especially electric vehicle. And the vision goes beyond just selling car. It's about helping India meet its climate goals and building a strong global presence. Now, the industry analysis. We are going to talk about industry analysis. So, the global auto market is massive, worth nearly $4 trillion. But the way people think about car is changing. Most customer wants EVs. Governments are pushing green policies, and new technologies like connected cars and even self-driven features are becoming popular. In India, the FAME 2 initiative is making it easier for people and businesses to adopt EVs. But at the same time, competition is heating up. Big names like Hyundai, Toyota, and Volkswagen are all fighting for the same space. Now, the financial analysis. Financially, Tata Motor has shown a strong result in 2023. Profits were about 17,400 crores, with a sale growing by 24%. Their efficiency is good, with EBITDA margin around 12%, but there is a concern. The debt to equity ratio is 3.67, which is pretty high. This makes it harder to invest in future. On the bright side, their stock price has jumped from about 100 rupees INR in 2020 to 900 in 2025, which shows investor believes in their EVs and Jaguar Land Rover strategy. Now, let's see this through SWOT analysis. So, SWOT analysis, let me break down their SWOT. On the strength side, they have got JLR, global brand, strong EV research, and the backing of Tata Groups. Weaknesses are mainly high debt and past instability in profit. Uh, Opportunities are huge, growing EV demands, government incentives, uh, and expansion in emerging market like Africa. And of course, there are threats, strong competition, raw material, price swings, and a global supply chain risk. Now, let's see it through Brio analysis. Looking at the Brio, Jaguar Land Rover gives them a sustained competitive edge because of its brand and design expertise. EV's R&D is valuable, but it can be copied. So that's only temporary advantage. Their global distribution network is temporary advantage, and their global distribution network is good but not unique. So it's competitive parity, and their affiliation with Tata Group is another sustained advantage that they have. Now let's go to a strategic goal. Tata's goals are clear: They want to bring debt ratio down to below 2 by 2026. They plan to expand further into Southeast Asia and Africa by 2028. By 2030, they are aiming for 30% of their sale to come from EVs and to hit a return on equity of 12%. Uh, these are ambitious but realistic targets if they manage risk well and plan their strategy accordingly. Now, my recommendation for Tata Motors would be uh, Tata Motors would be what should Tata Motors do? First, they need to lock in secure deals for critical raw materials like lithium and batteries. Second, they should invest more in connected cars and smart mobility services. Third, they must keep cost under control while monitoring financial health. And lastly, they should keep building a skilled workforce in digital tech, designing, and sustainability. Looking at the current market situation, where a lot of AI and other tools have been introduced, and those skills are required to survive in the current competitive market. Now, what implementation and monitoring they can do is they can track all these activities. They can use the balanced scorecard. That means financial metrics like debt ratio and margins, and then customer metrics like EV market shares, internal metrics like production quality, and innovation metrics like new EV launches and patents. Regular reviews and scenario planning will help them stay flexible in case of raw material shortage or a global downturns. Now, at the conclusion is to wrap up this, Tata Motor is in a strong position to take advantage of the global shift towards electric vehicle. They have a great brand, global reach through JLR and support of Tata Group, but they also have a risk, mainly high debt and supply chain challenges. If they can combine innovation and financial discipline and sustainability, Tata Motors have a good chance of leading not just in India but also globally in the green mobility space. So that's all from my side. If you have any questions, please do ask. Thank you.